We've had a period for several years where we've had bankruptcies as a regular part of the environment, but we're now expecting a significant number of bankruptcies that potentially file between now and June or July. Record numbers.
This doesn't mean, however, record numbers. Why don't you put some decimal points on that?
It's hard to tell, but we're tracking several dozen potential bankruptcy filings that could occur over that period of time across retail.
That doesn't mean that those stores cease to operate, cease to exist necessarily, does it?
No, I think many of them will go through a going out of business sale on part of their fleet, and will use the bankruptcy process as a way to reduce non-performing or underperforming stores. But some may go away totally. Those who don't have the capital base to survive the bankruptcy process may be complete chain liquidations.
Courtney, come on in and ask a couple of questions here.
Yeah, I mean, I want to make another point, Tyler, just based on sort of some of the folks I've been talking to, namely a lot of attorneys that are operating in these restructuring and bankruptcy arenas. And they say, look, another issue, too, is all these retailers are kind of trying to get their house in order right now and figure out what their liquidity positions are. So in some cases, they might be working on sort of some pre-packaged ideas for how to restructure so that when they go to court, they kind of have their items lined up. And why that's important is because it could also be sort of a race to file, if that makes sense. You don't really want to do it now because stores are closed. And a key part of some of these retailers liquidating at least some of the stores, to your point, Tyler, is they have to have an open store and a public that can come in to buy that merchandise. So filing for bankruptcy right now doesn't really help. Once stores are reopened, you might want to be among the first to file if you have to do it, because you don't want to have competition with everyone else trying to liquidate that merchandise at the same time.
Yeah, but why don't you react to that, Michael? Is there going to be a race to do this? And to Courtney's point, it's not actually advantageous to file now because you can't have a liquidation sale now in many parts of the country, most parts of the country.
Tyler, Courtney is absolutely correct. It's not advantageous to file today because in most parts of this country, the stores are closed, and liquidating into closed stores isn't a possibility. But preparing is important. Preparing to have a dip in place so you can finance the bankruptcy process, preparing to have the correct advisors around the table so you have the best opportunity to come out the other side. So many companies are in a preparation mode and are trying to time the right point in time to file with maximum liquidity.
I'm sure lawyers in this area have never been busier at all. What are we talking about in terms of potential job loss? In other words, as these stores either cease to exist, and we can name some of them if you want that may be on the short list of those that are in most danger. But a lot of them are going to come back with much smaller footprints and smaller employee bases. Correct, Michael?
I think that's absolutely correct. I mean, if we think about the entire retail segment, it's between 40 and 50 million jobs are in retail across this country. It's one of the largest, if not the single largest employer. I would expect we'll see significant permanent loss of jobs through this bankruptcy process.
The big and super stores are best positioned, most people say. Michael, do you dispute that? And who is on the short list of the vulnerable?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on the short list because I'm a banker and many of them may be clients. But clearly, we expect a significant number of bankruptcies in the apparel segment. Clearly, we've seen bankruptcies, hear of bankruptcies in the department store segment. So those are two of the segments that are on the top of the watch list.
All right. Courtney, any final thoughts there quickly?
I think it's just one of these things that we're going to have to watch carefully. And a lot of retailers, Tyler, probably aren't able to answer some of the questions that we've posed here themselves because the timeline is just so uncertain for how much longer this is going to go on and what normal looks like when stores do reopen.
And Courtney, as we discussed the other day, it's an incredible period of time because of how many may come at the same point in time, the dynamic that the supply chain has been shut down. So re-merchandising stores when they do reopen will be difficult. We have inventory that is totally out of season in apparel retailers when they closed in March and reopened in June. So it's an incredible period of time along with this landlord dynamic, but with rents being held by most retailers since April.